That's an amazing concept of that trickle down theory, and almost like the sliding doors. If somebody hadn't been in the right spot at the right time,
Yeah.
who knows what would have happened and how that would have affected so many lives, not just yours as a 17-year-old child.
I met his mother at the stadium.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's just
it's amazing.
it's a lot of scenarios. There are so many if this and if that and if this and if that, and it's just unbelievable. Like Dwight says to me all the time, "Well, if you're not there, George Steinbrenner doesn't give me a second chance."
Mm.
And Daryl says it all the time. He does these TV shows. He says, "I would never have been a Yankee had Ray Negron not talked the boss into it."
Amazing. I love that. Um, let's talk about well, right now, are you mentoring anybody that you are specifically excited about or doing any programs that you want to promote right now?
George Steinbrenner. Let me just put it to you this way. I used to sneak kids into the ballpark
Yeah.
because they couldn't afford to go into the ballpark. So my mentality was, if I'm looking up and I see a bunch of empty seats up in the upper deck, why can't I just grab a few poor kids and put them up there?
Right.
And one time I'm caught doing that, and this idiot can't wait to run to Mr. Steinbrenner and say Ray Negron is sneaking his friends into the ballpark. Now
Mm.
the boss knew me. You understand? So anyway, he said to the guy, "Well, get Negron in here." And so then the guy happily goes and gets me and brings me into the boss, and the boss says, "Okay, I got it from here. Good job." And the guy leaves, and then the boss says, "How many kids?" And I said, 13. And he goes into his pocket, pulls out $200, and he says, "Get them
Well,
peanuts, hot dogs, and whatever they need. And if you run out of money, come back." And so I start to leave the office, and then he goes, "Negron, why didn't you tell me?" He says, and I said, "Because they're not affiliated with anybody." And he said, "F labels. Do you hear me? F labels. Just, they're human beings, aren't they?" I said, "Yeah." "All right, they needed help. Didn't you need help?" I'm embarrassed.
right.
And so I laughed because I knew he was messing with me. So I took off from there, but that was a valuable lesson. So this is my long-winded answer to you, which is I just do what I got to do. If there's a situation, if someone calls me, because I get calls from all over the place all the time. "Can you help me with this? Can you get me tickets to that? Can you get me, and if I can help, I do it. And if I
Right.
can't, I can't."
Right. Let's talk about the current Yankees. So right now, are you still a Yankees advisor?
Yes, I work for Randy Levine, our team president.
Oh, amazing. That seems like a great job. Um, so I have a couple questions from people that are real Yankees fans that want to know from you. What do you think of the new clubhouse rules?
What are the new clubhouse rules?
Well, the fact that they can have hair beyond their
Oh,
collar, the facial hair, because normally you guys you're a traditional team. You do things by the book. So do you think that's a big deal?
it is a big deal because it was a major George Steinbrenner rule or tradition, and tradition has been broken. But you know what? I believe in the evolution of time, and time
Mm,
changes all. And so maybe it was time. It's no, look, like Hal Steinbrenner said, as long as it's neat, he can deal with it. So, every team, is doing it. Every team. So I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I can deal with it. Only
got it.
because I'm a traditionalist, I say it that way.
Right, right, right. Here's the other question. If Aaron Judge doesn't win a World Series, will he still be seen as one of the greats?
Just like Don Mattingly, de- definitely, and he's a great leader. I didn't want him to be the captain. You know why? Because I'm such a big Thurman Munson guy.
Right.
And I love Derek Jeter,
Hmm.
you know, but this guy has proven to me, not that he had to, but he has proven to me by me witnessing things. that he is truly a leader. He is truly a wonderful person.
Hmm.
He's a good guy. You know, everything that you see, that's him. That's him. Kudos to Hal Steinbrenner for making that decision.
Right.
And I wrote that in my column. I write a column for New York Tastemakers, and I meant every word of it. He's a true leader.
And how do you think that Aaron Boone is doing?
Aaron Judge is a true leader. Aaron, I'm just messing with you. Aaron Boone is doing as much as he can.
Okay.
Listen, we're in first place. We're in first place.
Yeah.
So shame on anybody that tries to take a knock on him.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good guy who's doing the best that he can.
Okay. I like that answer. Any predictions for this year?
I think that the Yankees will win it all at the end of the day, and I think in the World Series we can beat the Dodgers. I really believe that because
Okay.
by the end of the day, we'll get into trade deadline, which is in like August, the beginning of August,
Hmm.
and whatever we need, Brian Cashman will get for us, and we'll be ready to fight off or fend off whoever we have to in the playoffs and the World Series.
Hmm.
Anybody can win in a short series. So I'm not going to take anything away from the Yankees. I think that we can be world champions this year. I really believe that.
Okay. I love hearing that. Last question for you. Looking ahead, what projects or goals are you most passionate about? Can you tell us what you're working on right now?
Chaz Palminteri, the wonderful actor, producer,
Hmm.
creator of A Bronx Tale,
Hmm.
is working on the documentary of my life, and right now it's entitled Bad Boy. I think at the end of the day, it'll be entitled The Boss's Bad Boy,
Hmm.
and he's doing a wonderful job. And him and the people that have known me throughout the 52 years, because I've known Chaz for a long time. George Steinbrenner actually put us together because, as the boss would say, and Chaz says all the time now, our lives have mirrored each other,
Hmm.
and so him and his wife Gianna are passionately doing this. And kudos to Richard Gere, the wonderful actor who's been a 40-year friend of mine. We actually did a movie together in 1983 called The Cotton Club,
Hmm.
and I played a waiter in the club. And since then, we have been true friends, like brothers.
Oh,
And when my mother died, Richard was the first person there.
wow.
And you're talking about one of the greatest actors of all time,
For sure.
and the fact, like I say to myself all the time, I can't believe that this guy would take time for this little Puerto Rican kid,
Mhm.
and like I say that to Richard jokingly, but not jokingly. And he goes, "You're Puerto Rican?" You know what I'm saying? So he's been a wonderful friend who, when George died, like him and Chaz, like stood up for me. When I did the film Henry and Me,
Hmm.
him and Chaz and Louis Guzman, you know, and the great late Danny Aiello, they all came to bat for me. They didn't charge me anything to do the animated film.
Oh, wow.
And it was a wonderful, wonderful film for children. Wonderful film. I don't know if you ever seen it, but if you haven't, you should.
I will. I will make a point to see it. Ray, in closing, for listeners inspired by your journey, what final words of encouragement or wisdom would you like to share to them?
That there is a God, and He's looking out for all of us, and there is a master plan for all of us. And I'm not overly religious by no means. I curse and everything, as you see, okay? But I also know that God is there every single day, and He kicks my butt all the time because I'm hard headed sometimes.
Mhm.
but he also knows that I rely on him. And so rely on your God and do not be afraid to extend your hand to help people because we all need help. We all need help. No, rich or poor, etc. You know, like I know millionaires. I'm a very poor guy. Believe me, I don't make that much money working for the Yankees.
Mhm.
And in my books, like it says, what is Ray Negron's net worth? And for some reason, it says $15 million. But they don't understand that every book, every film that I've done, all that money has gone to one charity or the other.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because as George Steinbrenner would say, it's found money.
Mm.
It's found money. What I'm living on right now is found money. And you know what? I haven't gotten a raise from the Yankees in a long time, nor do I care because I had breakfast this morning. It rained last night. I didn't get wet. I have a decent home. My children are, hey, two cops that are celebrated. My daughter gave me my first grandchild. Her and her husband are like the most incredible couple. And
Mm.
my other son was the New York State light heavyweight boxing champion and Golden Gloves champion.
Wow.
Come on. What more can I ask for in this life? I like to live an extra 10 years, a little longer, because I got things, I still feel like I got a lot to do.